It is another stormy evening as heavy rain producing showers and storms continue to rumble across central and eastern Kentucky. I've got the latest on the flash flood threat coming up.
A driver is facing multiple charges after Lexington police say he drove between several buildings, eventually hitting a cruiser and sending an officer to the hospital.
A woman is in jail charged in a deadly stabbing. She tells us her side of what happened from jail.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon to you. We have rounds of showers and storms moving into the area.
Some places are seeing it already. They'll bring heavy rain and the threat for flash flooding. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey for an update on this WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Chris?
Yeah, showers and storms are in the process of increasing across the Lexington metro, but the heavier rains, the strongest thunderstorms have been across parts of southern and southeastern Kentucky. Severe thunderstorm warning, Bell, Clay, Harlan, Knox counties for another 15 minutes or so, courtesy of this slow-moving cell. Boy, if you're in Bell County right now, watch the creeks and streams come up in a hurry. This is a tremendous amount of lightning and rain with this storm right on top of the Pineville area. And again, it is slowly drifting its way onto the north. Also watching thunderstorms now that are kind of training, moving over some of the same real estate into Pulaski County. Areas shaded in the green here, the lighter green, under flash flood warnings into parts of southern Kentucky, Williamsburg over into Monticello. You're included in that. Strongest storm for Corbin is now just to our east and to the north of Barberville. It is all around parts of the Keavy area, East Bernstadt, and London here across Laurel County. Heavy rains just now beginning to increase. Look what's to your west here. Shopville, Mount Victory, over towards Somerset, Science Hill, and points west from there toward sections of the Pointer area and Nancy, getting in on a tremendous amount of rain and lightning. South of Liberty, that's where the heaviest rains are. Dunville down toward Russell Springs and the Lake Cumberland area. Thunderstorms trying to pop here on top of Lancaster, down into Stanford. That extends to the north into sections of the Lexington metro, where it's now raining on the west side of town. Versailles Road, Bluegrass Airport, back into downtown Versailles, and now creeping into northeastern or northwestern parts of Jessamine County. That's what we're seeing, the leading edge of that little thunderstorm complex now showing up into western parts of Fayette County. The overall setup, though, has one line of thunderstorms racing across central Kentucky, weakening a little bit. But look at this cluster coming out of Tennessee into southern Kentucky. That is going to try to lift its way onto the north and northeast. Think we're done after that? Low pressure across parts of Missouri will roll to the east, and that means waves of thunderstorms tonight through tomorrow and tomorrow night. Flash flood watch is out. Coming up in a little bit, we'll talk about the updated rainfall forecast. That's in about 15 minutes.
Thanks, Chris. A suspect on the run from police ends up crashing into a Lexington police cruiser, injuring an officer.
That crash happened on Elm Tree Lane several minutes after officers stopped chasing the SUV driver. WKYT's Victor Puente shows us how it happened in our top story at 5.
This is the sidewalk police say 28-year-old Wesley Brown was speeding on moments before he flew out onto Elm Tree Lane and collided with a police cruiser. The crash came after police had called off a chase involving the SUV near Curley Avenue.
We weren't really comfortable with some of the things the suspect was doing. We determined it was too unsafe to continue.
They say they had witnessed Brown making a narcotics transaction, but when they tried to stop him, he ran. After the chase was ended, Officer Christopher Burlisle was driving on Elm Tree Lane.
The vehicle that we'd been chasing just minutes before came off of a cut-through, which is a sidewalk cut-through from Rand Avenue to Elm Tree Lane at a high rate of speed and struck his cruiser.
Both vehicles ended up in this yard. Witnesses tell us despite being in the crash, Burlisle helped another officer chase after Brown before being taken to the hospital.
I could see he run to that driveway.
Brown was arrested and charged with trafficking, driving on a suspended license, fleeing or evading, assault, wanton endangerment, and receiving stolen property because that SUV had been reported stolen. Police uncovered a large bag of cash from that SUV. They wouldn't comment on that discovery. Now, Brown did have a female passenger. Police interviewed her at the scene. They say she isn't facing any charges. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Police say there was a second officer driving behind Burlisle who witnessed the crash. We're told that Burlisle is expected to be okay. We continue to track a developing story out of Nashville. Police shot and killed a man inside a movie theater in Antioch, Tennessee. That is southeast of Nashville. Police say the man had a gun and a hatchet during a showing of Mad Max and unleashed large rounds of pepper spray in the theater. 3 people had to be treated for pepper spray exposure. The man also had 2 backpacks with him. Police are checking those. They have not released the man's name, but say he is 51 years old.
A woman charged with murder says she was just trying to protect someone else from the victim. Barberville police say Jessica Hubbard stabbed a man to death at a home in the Dogtown community yesterday afternoon. WKYT's Phil Pendleton is in Knox County, where Hubbard talked to him about what happened from jail.
This is close to where witnesses say that 38-year-old Don Woolham was found on Tuesday afternoon. He somehow managed to get here after suffering some pretty serious injuries after police say he was stabbed. Now, police say they were called to a place about a quarter of a mile from here where witnesses say they heard Woolham yell at a woman. That's when another woman came out of an apartment. More words were said, and that's when Woolham was stabbed.
Well, about the moment he said that, he got about 15, 20 foot behind his car. She comes out of the apartment. As soon as she comes out the door, she has a knife in hand. And as soon as she comes out the door, she runs all the way down there to him and slings the knife 2 or 3 licks and catches him right here in the chest on the second or third time.
So when he went run behind the car, he was cussing me. So when he started wailing on me, he had me down on the ground. So he was either going to kill me or I was going to have to, defend myself.
And that's 34-year-old Jessica Hubbard, who is now charged with murder. She claims that she was first injured by Woolham. However, witnesses say that is not necessarily the case. Much more on that coming up at 6 o'clock. But for now, in Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Hubbard tells us she got involved because she was afraid Woolham was going to hurt his girlfriend.
More legal action today in the battle over issuing same-sex marriage licenses in Kentucky. We've learned Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis is now suing the governor. She's already being sued for her refusal to issue marriage licenses because of her opposition to same-sex marriage. WKYT's Monique Blair is at the live desk with more on Davis's lawsuit against the governor. Monique?
Well, Amber, Kim Davis is the Rowan County clerk who is currently being sued for refusing to issue marriage licenses. And now she is suing Governor Steve Beshear, claiming he violated her religious freedom by telling all clerks that they must either issue licenses or resign. On June 26th, the United States Supreme Court ruled gay marriage bans were unconstitutional. After that ruling, Governor Beshear ordered all 120 county clerks in Kentucky to comply and begin issuing licenses to all couples. In July, the American Civil Liberties Union filed a lawsuit on behalf of 2 same-sex and 2 opposite-sex couples against Kim Davis after she refused to issue them marriage licenses. Now, the Liberty Council, an international nonprofit litigation dedicated to advancing religious freedom, filed a lawsuit against Governor Beshear on Davis's behalf. According to a press release issued by the Liberty Council, the lawsuit was filed because Governor Beshear is targeting Davis and other religious county clerks for unconstitutional discrimination. The lawsuit says that the governor should be liable for the couple's claims against Davis and accommodate her faith. U.S. District Judge David L. Bunning is expected to make a decision in the ACLU lawsuit against Davis sometime next week. At the live desk, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Governor Beshear's office says they are not commenting on the lawsuit as it is pending litigation.
A standoff came to an end after the suspect decided to let his dog out. Our County by County coverage begins in Jessamine County. The sheriff's office was called to a home on Handy's Bend Road around 11:15 last night for a man planning to hurt himself. When deputies got there, they say Dave Marty Baker refused to talk to them and fired shots. They finally arrested him when he let his dogs out in the backyard about 5 this morning.
They waited till they had the opportunity to safely take him into custody.
Baker is charged with 2 counts of wanton endangerment for firing a weapon with deputies in the area. A man injured in a Pulaski County crash has died. The Fayette County coroner says 71-year-old Larry Allen died yesterday at UK Hospital. The crash happened last Tuesday at the intersection of Kentucky 80 and Kentucky 461 in Somerset. Another woman, Janice Patricia, died at the scene. She and Alan were both from Florida.
Investigators have confirmed a piece of debris found off an island in the Indian Ocean belongs to a missing plane. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappeared in March of last year. As Jonathan Vigalotti shows us, there's still plenty of information investigators can get from this piece.
Aviation experts examined the 6-foot piece of wreckage at a laboratory in France and determined the piece of wing did come from missing Malaysia Flight 370.
It is my hope that this confirmation, however tragic and painful, will at least bring certainty to the families and loved ones of the 239 people on board.
Authorities say more testing is needed to find out how the flaperon, which keeps a plane level and slows it down when landing, became separated from the rest of the wing. Oceanographers say the type of barnacles found on the wreckage may indicate where the plane crashed, and metal stress may tell investigators how fast it was going in the final moments.
The piece of wing was found along a stretch of coast known for collecting debris from the Indian Ocean. A suitcase was also discovered and will be tested for DNA.
Experts say even with a positive ID on the wreckage, it will be difficult to trace where the rest of the plane may be. Search teams from Malaysia are on Reunion off the coast of Africa, helping local police scour roughly 20 miles of coast. Crews are searching by air and by sea for more debris. With each new day comes the possibility of a new puzzle piece washing on shore. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Reunion.
That plane was flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing when it disappeared.